Hey guys, what's good, what's happening, and what's going on? Yesterday when we left off, I don't even know if the audio is recording. Let me just check it real quick. Okay, we got audio. That's a good sign. Anyway, yesterday when we left off, I started printing a mold to make swim baits, and guess what? She sort of turned out. There's the mold right there. I don't know if you can see that because it's transparent PLA. Well, sorta. It's not as transparent as I thought it would be, but it's clear PLA, so it's a two-part mold. But it's got a little bit of a problem. I downloaded this off of Thingiverse. Anybody out there with a 3D printer, you know what it is. But anybody who's does not have a 3D printer, you can go browse the stuff on Thingiverse, get an idea as to what you can just download and print. Like, you don't even need to design stuff. You can just download shit and print it. And if you want to make it your own, you can bring it into, I use a program called Tinkercad, which is a web-based 3D modeling CAD software. You can also use Fusion 360, which is free for personal use. I basically scaled this down because a 6-inch swim bait is a bit too much. I wanted about a 3.5-inch, and that's what I got here, mainly for using to catch walleye. However, the individual who built it made these pilot holes the same size as the circles, and I can't quite clip it together. So my solution for that is I'm going to take a file and file it down, because as you can see here, the tolerances are bang on, so they don't clip together. Now, obviously, when you're pouring hot liquid into this, like the hot plastisol, it's going to cause this to expand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually shave it down a bit, and in the actual mold itself, I'm going to fix the tolerances so the pin is a little bit smaller than the hole, or I might ditch the hole altogether and put a circle in there so it can indent in. Now, obviously, you don't just clip this together and pour. You literally have to take this and put a piece of, put a clamp on it to hold it still, or otherwise you're going to get flashing. I'm going to get flashing regardless because it is a 3D printed mold. I don't have any plastisol to really pour any of these guys yet. I haven't ordered that up yet, but that'll happen in time. However, I did mention that I wanted to get the Trans Am out of the garage so we can get the bait making shop up and running, but something else I wanted to do was I want to get painting, because I got a couple shots here, like this guy here that I printed, and I redesigned him a bit to make it a little bit easier to run. I'm gonna have to drill this guy out. Like, there's no way I can find wire that small to run my nose piece, the ass end piece, and the hole underneath. And like I said, the weight of this thing here, I really don't need this hole. So what I might do with this hole here is I might use that for the treble, for the front treble, and then have the rear treble. So they'll be kind of far apart, but it should work anyway. And then I'm gonna rip a hole through the nose and a hole through the ass with the drill. And that should allow me to attach the wiring that I do have onto this guy here and build a tie off. Now, I was looking for, and I think I threw it out, that 18 gauge Canthal, but it's not exactly the best wire to use for that because it is kind of flimsy and it will corrode. I need some like stainless steel spring steel, like some good wire. And this here was designed for 22 gauge spring steel, but I can't source any out, and I went on Amazon to look, and Amazon had none. The hobby store, Michael's, might have some. I might go check there tonight, because I do want to look at some acrylic paints, because Dollarama paints are kind of bunk. So I was thinking maybe take a rip over to Michael's and take a look at some acrylic paints and see if they have any 22 gauge spring steel so that we can get this guy wired up. But one of the problems I have with painting is I was looking for an item called a third hand. Some of them call them helping hands. Basically, you use them for soldering. They got like the gator clips on it. And then I got to thinking, I'm like, I looked online and they range anywhere from $15 to $65. And then my brain was like, Adam, what are you doing? You got a freaking 3D printer back there. You can make anything you need. So I came up with this idea. Basically, it's not going to have flexible arms or anything. I just need it to hold the bait. So this is the support stand. I'm going to bolt that there to the actual base. This here was somebody else's previous mold, but he had like bendable joints and stuff that I don't really care about. I just need it to hold the bait in the air. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue like clothespins to it, which will be more than enough to do what I want to do. And that way there, I can just sit it on the desk, glue the clothespins to it, clip it onto the tie-off hook on the bottom, like where the hook will be, and then paint away. So this is me in Tinkercad, and I built this here. All I grabbed from him was his stand, because I like those X cutouts, because that's less material. You don't really need much material to support this thing up. And like, worst case is I can probably get rid of those arms and just have the pillar and attach a clothespin to it, and a stand, and that'll probably do the job perfectly. Like, that'll probably be awesome. So you know what, I might actually do that. I might just get rid of the arms on the side, because I'm not using it to hold soldering projects. I'm literally using it to hold a bait in the air while I paint. I guess theoretically I could just build a wooden stand and put a stick on it and attach a gator clip, but I got a 3D printer and I want to use it, so let's go. You know, something else I forgot that I can do is I can screen cap, so we can actually I can show you the model. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of this, get rid of I'm gonna hang on to that, get rid of that, get rid of this box. Here's the original, like, minus all this shit that I put on it to make it look a little bit more aerodynamic. This was the original stand. Okay, let me show you here. This is literally the final product that he made. So you have your stand. Mind you, he just has a rod. I don't know how the heck he's holding that up. I honestly don't know. This is the stand here. Okay, and then this is Thingiverse, in case you're wondering. If you want to check it out, check it out. And then here's the hinges for doing, like, the arms. How he's got the arms here so they pivot. And then this is just gator clips. But I want to get away from gator clips. I got a whole bag of clothespins downstairs. Figure good enough good stuff. I just need something like this stand with this support here. No, where's the support? Oh, it's around here somewhere. This right here. This is the thing that I brought into CAD, which I don't really need the top portion. All I need is the bottom portion and this stand. Now over here in my slicer program, originally I was going to slice these two together, print them off, and then I was just going to make a hole that goes here and then attach clothespins to it, but then it would be kind of sidebound. I figure, why bother doing that? Maybe we'll just put a clothespin right off of that, and then we can just hold it in the air and spray it, and then we can turn it as we need it, and that'll be good enough. So I'm trying to figure out here what I might do. Actually, let's do this. Let's go back to maker, this thing. Let's go here. Let's blow all this away. Let's import, and then I have the stand here. We'll just drag that over. We'll import it in. Just takes a minute because it has to upload it to the web and then render it, and then it'll fire it in. It's a little slow, but for a free program, this is Tinkercad. I think I mentioned that already. It works really good for designing simple things. Like, as you see over here, you have all your geometries and all the different things, and then you got all sorts of other shapes you can use too. Like, they got creatures and stuff. So, like, if you wanted to print a sneaker, whatever that means, a person, a mustache, Elvis Presley, you know, an ice cream cone. I think that's an ice cream cone. He has an ice cream cone. You want some eyeballs on it, you can put eyeballs on it. You know, they got fun and games. They got, like, soccer balls and stuff you can print. Oh, there, it's finally there. Okay, cool. So yeah, they got a bunch of different things over here that you can create, like a laptop. You can just plop a laptop in here and be like, okay, well, okay, that's a big laptop. You know, you can press and hold shift and scale it down. You can press and hold shift and, okay, well, you can't do anything with it, so let's just delete that. How many laptops did I copy? Okay, so it's not letting me scale it down. That's cool. Okay, I'm just going to delete that because we don't need a laptop. Let's just go back to everyday objects, basic shapes. So this is the stand here, right? You can maneuver around in 3D and get an idea. What I'm thinking we're going to do is we're going to block those two screw holes down here. So we'll bring a square in. And we'll bring that out to here. Bring that out to here. And then bring that in to there. And then we'll just kind of lower that down so that we don't have those holes there anymore. And then I'm going to make this a solid unit. So you can come up here and this joins everything together. Pretty sweet. Did I accidentally put a lip there? It looks like there's a lip there. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. And then what I was thinking is we just grab another square and go up. Or a cylinder. I think a cylinder would be good. Let's just put a cylinder here. And we'll make it 5 millimeters by... I'm using metric. I know a lot of you people hate metric. I don't know why. Bunch of haters. And then we'll make you 5. Boom. And then we'll drag you to the center. Is that centered? That's about as centered as I'm going to be able to get it. You can also come down here and change it so that it clips like 0.255 or 0.1 millimeters. Or you can turn the snap to right off if you want to. That's up to you. So we'll go like this. We'll put it right there, dead center. And then we will take this and bring it up so that we got a point to attach our clothespin. How tall is that? 93 millimeters, so that's 9 centimeters. There is a way to convert it to inches for anybody in the USA. We'll go 100. We'll go 11 millimeters tall. I'm just gonna go 110. Good enough. And then, hopefully that there can print and it won't flop over on me because I've never printed anything that small. Maybe I'll make that a little thicker. Let's go 7 by 7. Cool beans. There we go. So that'll basically give us a little stand to put the paper clip, holy crap, the clothespin on the top so that we can grip the bottom of the bait and it'll hold. Maybe I'll put a flat edge on the top here so that we got somewhere to glue the clothespin to. So we'll do that. We'll just grab a transparent block here. We'll lift it up so that I don't know if you guys find this kind of stuff interesting. Let me know in the comments below if you find this CAD work interesting. And we'll do like that. And that way there, if we go across here, grab everything, cause it to join. So now you can see we got a flat spot up top here to glue the thing to. And that will be the painting stand. We can pick it up, we can move it around. So we can get both sides. It'll be clear PLA, so who cares if it gets paint on it. And it's just a basic support so that while I'm painting, it's painting. It's good to go. So I'm going to go ahead now and we hit export. We export it as an STL file. And then it comes over, it gives it these really weird names like stunning Esboo. I don't even know what an Esboo is, but apparently it's a word, so we'll go with that. We'll call this here paint stand. Good enough, good stuff. And then we'll come back over here to the slicer program. I'm gonna smoke this, smoke that, and then we'll just drag and drop the paint stand right in. Boom, there it is. Pretty simple, pretty easy. This is actually the bed height. My printer can go all the way up to here, 220 mil, or is it? I think it's it's 220 by 220 is my print bed, and then I can go higher on here. So if I wanted to scale this higher, I can just do this. But now it makes everything bigger, right? So we don't want to do that. I figured that's going to be good enough. 11 centimeters off the ground. Good enough. So when you're all said and done, I need my SD card. SD card's not going in the card holder. There we go. And then when you go to slice it, that'll actually make it a G-code file so that you can just go ahead and send it to the printer. Now normally when I plug that in, oh, I gotta hit slice. So we're not going to use supports. We're going to use an infill of, I'm going to take that down to 60 because we don't really need to infill it that much. You know, we can probably even go 50. Yeah, that should be good. And then we'll go slice. Now what infill is all the material, like where you see the solid area, it's how much it's going to be. It's going to fill in that solid area to make it more rigid. Now on the baits, I've been using 80%, and that's why we got ourselves a heavy ass freaking crankbait. If you take her up to 100%, she gets even. It uses more material, but it gets even heavier. So what we'll do now is we'll go ahead and hit slice. It's going to go ahead and do its thing, and then you're going to see down here saved or removable. It already knows to save it right to the SD card. And did it do it? I think it did it. And now it's on the SD card as paint stand. It gives it a really weird name. Like here, I'll show you the SD card. I'll drag it over to this monitor. It gives it a really weird name of like E3. I always knock that out because I don't know why it does that. I didn't do it with the Amazing Lappy, which I have no idea what the heck that is. What is that? Let's go, here, I'm going to smoke this real quick. And I'm just going to grab the G code from that one and see what the heck the Amazing Lappy is. It just sounds dirty. What is Amazing Lappy? Oh, it's the crankbait. The new modify. Oh no, that's the old modified version with the 2 holes in the bottom and everything. Yeah, we don't need that. Okay, let's go ahead and get rid of that. Did I just crash my software? Okay, so awesome. Alright, so that's not letting me do what I want to do. But yeah, so there we go. We're basically good to go. I'm going to probably delete the Amazing Lappy because that's just derelict. And I'm going to close out of here. Another, here, I'll show you what I've been working on though. So we got that all said and done. This is the crankbait that I've already made. Tinker this. And I'll show you here that I've modified it a bit. So I put a bigger hole in the front and I angled it down so that the hook will be more on an angle. I put the single hole in the bottom and I put a bigger hole in the back so I can use the wire that I already have. There is a hole there, but the wire and the super glue will fill that. I'm not too worried about it. So I'm going to end up putting some of these off. I might go higher on the infill, like go 100% infill just to make it super heavy so that it really sinks. I don't know if you want it to sink. You probably don't, because when you're reeling it in, she'll dive. But I don't know. I'm anxious to give it a try. I might lower the infill to like 60% and see how that goes. But that's the Amazing Lappy. We're going to change that there to crankbait. And then I was also dicking around with the Whopper Plopper. What's nice is it saves it all to your account, so you can just keep making new items. And this one here, I made a bigger hole right through it. It doesn't look so big on this side as it does on this side, but I promise you it's not a tapered hole. It's just because you're looking at it from a certain angle. And then over here, I made this hole here. Now it goes straight through, but that's not a big deal. And then the bigger hole in the front. And I also made it bigger too because I kind of wanted a bigger plopper to attract bigger fish, if that's a thing. So that one's cool too. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get this print job going, and we'll talk to you guys in a bit. So I totally did it again, where I filmed the ending part of the vlog and I forgot to turn the mic on and there's no audio. I'm an amazing vlogger. So anyway, guys, you probably hear the 3D printer going off in the background. I'm currently printing the biggest project I've ever done on that thing. Hopefully it turns out. But our stand is complete. Our stand is complete. That is right. We did it. So it's not as big as you thought it would be, but it's going to be good enough, because what I plan on doing, I thought about that. Well, I thought about two things. One, wrapping a piece of wire off the top and attaching a clamp to it so I can adjust it depending on how I want it to print it, to paint it. Or number two, attaching a gator clip to it just so I can have it up in the air and spray it, and then I can just pick up the stand and move it around as I want. That could work too. I don't know. I just thought this was kind of neat, so I figured I'd print it. I'm sure I'll have a use for it. It's pretty awesome. Didn't take much plastic either. Only took 3 hours of my life. Whatever. The way she goes. But something else I was playing with, and I talked about this already, so I feel like I'm repeating myself. Welcome to Deja Vu land when you vlog with the camera, with the mic turned off. But I gone ahead and started playing around with the wire to put some line hooks and line ties in the crankbait. So you can see we got the line tie up front. We have the hook on the bottom. I didn't put the hook in the back end, but I did drill its ass out. I just need some more wire, and it's all in the garage. I just grabbed a small strand to try some shit out, because the majority of the wire was used on the whopper plopper. It sits snug in the body, but if you see the tail, she plops really well as she whops. So that's pretty sweet. And what I did there was I drilled it out. Now the new version of the whopper plopper that I made, which I don't know if I'm going to print any more of these, but I might. I'm going to see how these do in the water first. I pre-drilled the back end hole to a 1.5 millimeter to fit the wire loosely, and all I need now is just a bead to go on the ass end. I think it goes on the ass end, and then I need to wrap it and make the tie. But I'm not doing that yet because I need a barrel swivel that goes underneath here for the bottom hook. So this is going to have a hook off the back and a hook on the bottom, and then the line tie will be in the front. I'm going to super glue this. It's hard to see, but if you see in the front there, above the wire, there's a slit. And this wire is meant to bend backwards and go into the slit. And then I'm going to just jam it full of super glue. And that there should hold her still so she doesn't run away on me when the fish bite. I'm hoping. We'll see. That's the idea behind it anyway. That's the model, the way it works. So we're going to give that a go and see if it'll actually take. So yeah, that's the whopper plopper and the crankbait. I drilled out the ass end, basically took my drill. I didn't do this one here yet, which is why it looks kind of plugged in the back end. But I'm going to do this one here next and get them all ready to rock. Tomorrow I'm going to go to Canadian Tire, get some barrel swivels, and then we'll set them all up ready for paint. As for paint, I looked on Michael's. I talked to my buddy Eric, and he's like, oh, stuff I use is called high flow gold or something like that. And I looked it up on Michael's, and they wanted like $14.99 a bottle. And it's a 1 ounce freaking bottle. And I'm like, are you serious right now? That's ridiculous. So I went on Amazon and typed in airbrush paint, and I came across a pack of 36 colors for $36. A buck a color. All the people said this stuff sprays as good as the expensive stuff. Some people said it was on par with some of the premium paint. I'll take their word for it. I ordered it up. We'll see how it goes. Worst case, I thin it with some alcohol. Good to go. But this stuff is supposed to be pre-thinned and ready to work with an airbrush. So, sweet. That sounds awesome. So, yeah, that's all been taken care of. Everything's said and done. And as for this here, this is going to be my biggest print ever. It's a custom-made stick bait mold. 5-inch worms. Going to be, well, I don't know if you can see the outline, but right now she's printing the bottom. And I don't know what the heck it's doing. It's drawing a border around the edge. I don't know. It's going to be, it's literally raising the material. So it's doing, yeah, it's basically going to be a box with 4 worms in it, 4 or 5-inch stick baits, top pour mold. Completely designed it myself with an idea of pattern, something completely different than a Senko. I know Senkos work and that's why everybody pours them, but I'm trying to be a little bit more unique with my baits. Not because I want to run a bait company either. I thought about it, but honestly, it's like there's been like 5 or 6 of them that opened up in North Bay already, and it's like they're sure enough, they're all doing the same thing. They all went online, they all bought some aluminum molds, injectors, plastisol, the lure blanks, all that shit. They're painting them up, they're making websites, and they're trying to sell them. And I got into thinking about it, I'm like, you know what would be even better? Is if I started printing lure blanks and selling those, okay? Like, good old Whoppy Ploppy here cost me 9 cents to produce, and they're selling these here online at $2 a piece. So that's like a $1.91 profit right there. And that's not with the wire in it either. That's just, I send them the tail and the body, and then they got to provide the wire and everything, and they basically build it. I'm just sending them the parts, or the crankbait. I just send them the crankbait with no wire ties attached or nothing. They have to do that part. This here, because I put a lot of infill in it, make it a little heavy. This here cost me about, I want to say 18 cents to produce. Maybe less, probably 12. And they're selling those for like $2.50 a piece. Unpainted, ready to go. And then these people are buying it, they're spraying them up to their own desire, turning around and selling them for like $13. So if I wanted to get into the business, I should get into the business of selling to the businesses. You know what I mean? Start printing off a bunch of blanks, putting them on Kijiji, blank crankbaits, blah, for X amount of dollars. And then start a business in selling bait supplies versus selling baits. But that's not the whole reason why I got the 3D printer. I've always wanted one, and the main reason why I wanted one was to build random bullshit. Like this summer, I plan on putting this fan back in the window. It doesn't quite fit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna build something that I can attach to the window shim to lock it in place so it doesn't fall out and bang me on the head. Because let me tell you, taking a fan in the head kind of sucks. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and shut her down here because it's friggin' late o'clock and I already filmed this exit, outro, whatever you want to call it, like twice. And I'm kind of tired. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you did, click that like button. Any questions, comments, concerns, down below they go. Also, what'd you think about the old AutoCAD thing, the Tinkercad display there, showing you how I was building the stand and all that? Did you enjoy that? Was that good? Sorry about the audio. Apparently I had the gain turned down on the mic. I don't know how that happened, but it did. And I don't have a pop filter on the mic, so every time I said puh, the mic spiked and it caused a problem with trying to like adjust the volume in post. So that part of the video probably sucked for audio, but maybe you learned something about Tinkercad and you're probably going to go over there and check it out. And if you do, pretty awesome. Even if you don't have a 3D printer, you might want to buy one after you play with it and you realize all the crazy shit you can build for yourself without needing much CAD experience. Good times. Until next time, guys, live it to win it and peace the frig out. Sit, stupid, sit. Good dog.